Up Arsenal, the transfer window has been buzzing for Arsenal. Arsenal have just been signing players right, left, and center. Yesterday, Arsenal executed a massive coup by swooping in on Eberechi from Crystal Palace right under the noses of their fiercest North London rivals. I'm talking about Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur thought they had it signed, sealed, waiting to be delivered until and Better actually showed them that he's the master of this game. Just a phone call to Eberechi and he simply told his agents to start talks with Tottenham Hotspur and wait for Arsenal, because of course, as a former Arsenal boy, he started his academy journey at Arsenal. He's just willing to come back home, and yes, he's finally back home because Arsenal have agreed a fee with Crystal Palace, a fee in the upward of £68 million in total package for Eberechi. Personal terms have been agreed, and of course, tomorrow have been scheduled for medicals because he has actually chosen Arsenal. He will not be featuring for Crystal Palace in their Conference League playoff tonight. Yeah, having said that, there have been a lot of side talks about, Arsenal have done so well in the transfer market. Automatically, Arsenal have no excuse but to win a major trophy this season. To start with, I don't even know what people mean by major trophies. As far as I'm concerned, all trophies are trophies. There is no major, there is no minor, be it from the Community Shield to the Carabao Cup to the FA Cup to the Premier League to the Champions League to the Conference League to the Europa League. They are all trophies. But again, they are now saying, Arsenal are definitely favourites for the Premier League, definitely favourites for the Champions League. They have no excuse, they have no reason not to win it. And I am saying that, is it only Arsenal that spent money in this transfer window? Almost all the top clubs spent money. Manchester United spent over £200 million on just 3 attackers. I'm talking about Mbuemo, I'm talking about Kunya, and of course Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig. Are you saying that after spending £200 million on just attackers, and yet they are still not done? There have been talks about them being linked with a goalkeeper and of course a defensive midfielder. They wanted to sign Baleba, and if Brighton were willing to do business, Manchester United were willing to pay in the upwards of £120 million for Baleba. So are you saying that those ones do not want to win the title? They are not even in Europe, so there is no European distraction for them. They have ample time, fewer games to play and ample time to rest in between games. Are you saying they don't deserve to win the Premier League? Are you saying they have reasons not to win it? I'm talking about a Liverpool that spent £125 million on vets from Bayer Leverkusen. They brought in Kekes from Bournemouth. They brought in Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen. They signed Ekitike from Frankfurt. Are you saying they don't want to win the league? And yet they still want Alexander Isak. They are still being linked to Maguire of Crystal Palace. Are you saying they have reasons not to win the league? Are you saying they have reasons not to win the Champions League? We're talking about the Chelsea that have spent money. They brought in Joao Pedro, they brought in Rory Delap, they brought in Byron Gittins from Borussia Dortmund, they brought in finally established like a new signing. Even though they didn't just sign him, they brought him in. Are you saying they don't deserve to win the league? And even at that, they are still being linked with moves for Garnacho and moves for Xabi Simons that will put their spendings in the upwards of almost £300 million. Are you saying that with all of those spendings, they are not planning to win the league? They have reasons not to win the league? I don't understand why people are just putting unnecessary pressure on Arsenal. When you're talking about Liverpool, they've only won 2 Premier League titles since the era changed from the English League title to the Premier League. They've only won 2. So are they not hungry to win the league title? For Manchester United, since Alex Ferguson left the saddle, they have done a lot of chopping and changing managers. They've gone from David Moyes to Luis Van Gaal to Jose Mourinho to Ryan Giggs to Solskjaer to Eric Ten Hag. Now they have Ruben Amorim. If managers were construction firms, you would have said Manchester United have gone from CCC to Julius Berger to High Tech to just name any construction firm, and yet you now say that they are not planning to win the league. If they are not planning to win the league, why are they spending big? If you are saying, no, they've been rebuilt, how long does it take to rebuild? How many years? How many managers do you want to rebuild? We are talking about Chelsea. We know that when was the last time they won the title? The last time they won the title was under Conte. When you talk about Tuchel did not win any domestic title with them. You can say they are world champions, but they still want to win something domestically. They want to win the Premier League. They also want to win the Champions League. So do they have reasons not to win it after spending so much money? If you are talking about Manchester City, they spend big in the winter window, they spend big again in the summer window. They are still not done because they are being linked with Donnarumma. So in all of this, they finished third last season. Before then, they won the Premier League 4 times in a row. And yet, are you saying that they have reasons not to want to win the title? So overall, I would say that every team that has spent decently, every top team is aspiring to win the league. Nobody should put any untold pressure on Arsenal and say, oh, Arsenal must win the league. No. Yes, Arsenal had a fantastic, transfer window because they've added quantity and quality almost in equal measure. But beyond that, everybody has, only one person can win the title. Yes, Arsenal finished second 3 times in a row. That does not automatically mean they will finish first or they must finish first. I mean, if you are saying Arsenal must finish, what would you say for someone that's finished 14th last season and spent 200 million pounds on attackers? They also want to they also want to win the title. The Manchester United fans cannot come out and say, oh man, you spent 200 million pounds just to qualify for Europe, as Amorim has been using as a smoke screen. They also want to win the title. So overall, nobody should put pressure on Arsenal. Put pressure on your manager. Put pressure on your club. Leave Arsenal fans alone. Leave Arsenal alone. Arsenal are your problem. Yes, Arsenal want to win the title and we are not shying away from it, but don't put pressure. Don't make it look like Arsenal must win the title and they must win the title. No. Arsenal will want to win the title. Arsenal will try to win the title. Arsenal will battle to win the title. We will not be like Chelsea, that will not be like some clubs that will say, oh, we are not trying to win the title, we are just competing. No, Arsenal wants to win the title, but don't put pressure on us. We spend just like everybody did, and we're going to have a shot at the title. You to have your shot at the title. If we don't win it, it's not a failure. If you don't win it, it's if you think if Arsenal do not win it, it's a failure. Then if you guys don't win it, if Man U does not win it, if Liverpool does not win it, if Man City does not win it, if Chelsea does not win it, then it is failure too for all of them, because we all spend big money. Anyway, that's the point. Congratulations, Arsenal fans. We have Eberechi in our coffers. We have Eberechi in our dressing room as a gunner now. Our son is back, and he's back. And yes, are we done? I don't know. There are still links to the likes of Rodrigo. We don't know if Arsenal is going to add one more attacker, one more striker, or maybe a natural winger. We don't know. But the truth is, until the transfer deadline slams shut officially, you never know if Andre Beta is done, because that man is cooking, and he's cooking some tasty, peppery, delicious meal. See ya. Bye.